Everyone, I am here for week 14 of my pregnancy, and I'm actually 14 weeks and 1 day today. I was going to film this yesterday on exactly 14 weeks. However, I didn't really do much of anything yesterday. I just felt like crap, and I ended up laying in bed for a few hours with my daughter just because I didn't feel good. So although I am in the second trimester where a lot of ladies start to feel relief from some of these things, I do not expect that relief to come. I was sick up until I delivered my daughter, and I even got sick a couple hours after delivering her. So I fully expect the morning sickness to continue this time around, and although it is different because with my daughter it was just in the morning, this time it's all day, kind of just randomness, but I still could expect it to continue. I wrote down my notes this week, so hopefully I can remember everything, because after I'm done videotaping, I'm like, oh man, there was, something else I meant to say, and so yeah, I already mentioned that I'm still having morning sickness. Did I get sick last week? I think I got sick in this past week sometime, and just still having lots and lots of nausea. I tried a homeopathic they're like little tablets. You're supposed to take 5, but I had a friend that recommended them to me. They're called Nux Vomica, and she said she only took 2, so I would take 2 or 3 sometimes, but it just really didn't do a whole lot for me. And so then I had another friend recommend Unisom and B6, which I know was very common for doctors to recommend because they took Bendectin off the market a few years ago, which is basically Unisom and B6, so that's what they would have the ladies take. So I tried that, and again, really still didn't get a whole lot of relief. And I was kind of worried that I was going to become dependent on the Unisom after I had the baby. I was afraid I would have a lot of trouble sleeping, although, you don't get much sleep after a baby anyway, but I just didn't want to become dependent on the Unisom and B6, so I'm back to Zofran, which does a decent job, so I'll probably just stick with that. And I have been noticing a little bit of relief from the constipation issues that I've been having the last several weeks. So hopefully that just continues and we can be done with that, because that would be amazing. And one of the biggest symptoms that I've been noticing in the last couple of weeks, I should have mentioned this last week, but I didn't think about it till after I uploaded the video. One of the biggest symptoms that I've noticed popping up is round ligament pains, and I don't really remember this a whole lot with my daughter. I don't know if it's because I had the C-section, so things are maybe a little bit more tight in that area now because of scar tissue, or what, but I actually started noticing this fairly early on. I don't know, at least around 10 weeks, probably like maybe 8 or 9 weeks even, maybe around like 9 or 10, and then it was just mostly like if I would cough or if I would sneeze, if I were laying down and I could feel something, cough or sneeze coming on, I would have to pull my legs up to my chest really quick, or else it would feel like I was like ripping something inside of me. And now I still have that, of course, and now it's like if I move too quick, or if I get up, or if I just move in the wrong position, I'm like holding my lower abdomen, ow, ow, ow. So, which is very common. And something else I've noticed it the last 2 nights when I'm laying in our bed, which is like, flat. It has to be a flat surface. If I feel down low, like I can definitely tell that my uterus is probably like 2.5, 3 inches below my belly button, so it's definitely come up out of the pelvic bone area. So before that, it just kind of felt like hard all around. Like I could feel my fundus or the top of my uterus. I could feel where that was. And it just kind of felt harder all around. And then 2 nights ago, I noticed that if I felt on my left side, it kind of felt a little squishy. But if I felt on my right side, it feels like a ball in there. It feels like a tightened up ball. Very different from the way it feels on the left side. And where I can usually find the heartbeat is usually like center to the right, like it's always on the right-ish side. Not far right, but more toward the center. But, this like ball is where I usually find the heartbeat. So I'm assuming that's like exactly where the baby is. And it was really weird last night because I had been feeling, where it was. And then a few minutes later, I kind of felt like, I don't know, I felt a little sensation. And I started wondering, like, man, I wonder if it, if that was the baby kind of moving over. And then I felt around again, and it was more toward the center, like it had centralized. So definitely, thinking that, that's the baby, and I'm feeling like the sac and whatnot. Of course, it's still far too early to, like, feel the actual baby, like baby parts or anything like that, because baby's still like 3 or 4 inches, and I can't feel anything from the outside, but I'm still definitely feeling, like little flutters on the inside, not super common, just randomly here and there, and I'm super excited to feel it, more often, and to feel it on the outside and be able to see it, and for my husband to feel it. I just think that's going to be so fun, and I'm really excited for Natalie to feel it too. She has familiarized herself with the idea of, there's a baby in mommy's belly, and she likes the idea, and she always says it's a sister most of the time. She says it's a sister. She don't know yet, but she'll always talk about baby sister and mommy's belly and all that. Of course, she doesn't really know, like, exactly what's coming, and I'm sure she won't really like it after she realizes the baby is not going away once it's born. But yeah, it's really cute to see her. She'll always come up and pat my belly, and is baby in there? So it's really cute. So that's really all I have to update this week. Yeah, I'll go ahead and do my belly shot. Oh, and somehow I have, put this up a little bit. Somehow I have managed to lose another pound, so I'm now about 8 pounds below my pre-pregnancy weight. It is what it is. So here it's from the front. Here's from the side. Definitely, like I said, I'm definitely feeling the baby, not the baby, but the uterus and that ball, about this level. And everything else is getting just squished up now that the baby is coming up. So from the other side, it's just a regular shirt, not a maternity shirt. So, man, I feel like when I'm on camera or when I take pictures of myself, I feel like my belly is huge. But when I'm just looking at myself in the mirror or anything else, it doesn't feel that big. Or if I'm looking down, it doesn't feel that big. But I feel like I look ginormous when I turn on the camera. So anyway, that is it for this week. I hope you guys have a good week, and we will see you next week for week 15. Bye!